And we saw some Republicans come in. And it used to be, I knew there were Republicans in my audiences, my crowds, because they whispered to me. Afterwards, when I'm shaking hands, they'd say, "Brooke, I'm a Republican, but I support you." And I'd say, "Thank you." But last night, they weren't whispering. They would come up and there were TV cameras around and they said, "I'm a Republican, but I'm changing registration tonight because I want to believe that we can still solve problems and do big things. And I too have lost trust in America, and I too want a different direction for this country." New Hampshire, that is how we are going to bring about change. That's what we saw last night, and that's what I want to see right here in New Hampshire in 4 days' time. A remarkable statistic, and I want especially those high school seniors who can vote, those college students, to understand this. Yesterday may have been the first election in our recent history where young people between the ages of 18 and 30, voted at the same rate or caucused at the same rate as people 65 and over. That never happens, but it happened last night because young people believe in the possibilities of change. They believe in this campaign, and now New Hampshire, 4 days from now, we have a chance to bring our forces together and challenge the special interests and challenge ourselves, and then there will be no problem we cannot solve, and no destiny that we cannot fulfill. Certainly you'll be hearing over the next several days. Not to believe your own eyes. Don't trust your own gut, your own instincts. People will be saying, "Yeah, I know you were really feeling good yesterday, really inspired, but you know what? Obama has not been in Washington long enough. He needs to be seasoned and stewed. We need to boil all the hope out of him. So he's like us, and then he'll be ready to lead this country." But you know what? The people of Iowa heard that yesterday. They've been hearing it for months. And what they realized was that the real gamble was to have the same old folks do the same old things, playing the same old Washington game over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's the gamble we cannot afford. That's the risk we cannot take. We need to turn the page and write a new chapter in American history, and we know what the rest of it to do before it is done. Obama may be the wrong person to bring about change, even though he's fought for change all his life, because he's too nice. We need more anger. We need more confrontational. There's no shortage of anger in Washington, people. There's no shortage of bitter partisanship. No shortage of hot-air rhetoric. We don't need more heat. We need more light. From the outset of this campaign, if you know who you are, if you know what you believe in, if you know your principles, if you know who you are fighting for, then you can afford to reach out to those who don't agree with you. You can listen to those across the aisle. You don't have to worry that somehow they're going to change your mind or compromise your values, because if they've got a good idea that's going to help the people you say you want to help, that's just fine. This is not a sport. This is not a zero-sum game. And of course, there are going to be insurance companies and drug companies that don't want to give up their profits when we say we need to reform health care. Of course, there will be operatives in Washington who want to tear me down and won't even think about trying to work with me on a piece of legislation when I'm president. But you know what? I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in you. If there are Republicans and independents who are working with me, that makes us stronger. And I want to change the electoral map in America. I don't want another happened last night in Iowa.